Welcome back to Random Rod Shop, folks. Well, we're going to continue on working on the 1967 short wide bed Chevy. And last week we worked on the front fender. That was pretty interesting. That was a pretty interesting repair. The whole front corner of that fender was rusted out. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in it. This week we're going to tackle a core support. So this thing's a mess. It's rusted out pretty much the whole bottom edge, and I don't remember taking the sawzall of this thing, but it's had a sawzall or a grinder kind of all across the bottom. Anyway, the goal is to repair this top panel, which is this piece right here that's supposed to go all the way across, and fix this bottom edge. As you might expect, the battery side is the one that is causing the most pain. Now, I've got a 1969 to 72 front core support, and it's rusted out also, but it is in a lot better shape than that one. As near as I can tell, the significant difference is actually in the headlight area. You know, when we were working on the fender, we talked about the 67, 68 fenders are different. The 69 to 72, the grill sits on top in front of the front fenders. That's a spacer, I assume, to get those headlights out that, you know, that other inch or inch and a quarter, whatever that is. And you don't need that on the 67. So I think the bottom end is the same. As near as I can tell, the bottom pieces are pretty much the same on both of them. And you can see this one's in a lot better shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find all the spot welds that holds this section in. And I want to see if I can drill those out. And I'm going to do the same thing to this other one. I'm going to film this, but you won't have to watch much of it. I'll do what I normally do. I'll clip a few things in. So the next time we talk, hopefully those two pieces are going to be out. Let me put this on the bench. All right. You know, it's one of those, I don't know what it is. You know, it always takes longer to do this than I think it ought to take. Holy smoke. I think we got 3 hours in getting this drilled out. It's not a problem of drilling out spot welds. The problem is finding all the stinking spot welds. Okay, well, let's have a look at this, and then we'll go over and look at what the piece I pulled off. You can kind of get a good feel for you know, what the metal looks like. It's pretty crusty. And then obviously down here, I've got to get this off, which should only be a couple of spot welds. And then we got to figure out what exactly we're going to do to fix this. It was probably a good thing to take that thing apart. Definitely a little crusty. So I'm still of the opinion, folks, that core supports is one of those things that, unless it's a pretty straightforward fix, they're pretty cheap. So, but like I said, you know, we need to practice. So let's have a look at this thing. Well, This is pretty good. This is pretty good metal up here. I set it back over here so we can have a better look at it here. Well, this piece is pretty much just a folded, you know, sheet metal piece. Now, it's got a section there, and it's got a section down here, and on this side, and then it'll have that piece. Well, I think I'm having second thoughts. I went out and watched this other core support, and it's the later model, right, 6972. But I'm thinking I can fix them headlights a lot easier and a lot quicker. Although quick is relative. This one is going to need major surgery. This whole bottom panel is in pretty sad shape. And then on the front side, I should be able to use pieces out of this to help me fabricate whatever I need in terms of the main structure here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to remake this bottom corner right here. Everything else on this seems to be in pretty good shape. All right, so from about right here over, let's see if we can make that, because this one's in pretty sad shape. Obviously that whole corner's gone, and it's pretty rough here. Despite the fact that I would really like to use the 67 core support, it really doesn't make any sense. That is a lot of work to remake basically the whole bottom of the core support, when we can just remake this piece here, and then we'll deal with the headlights once we get it all put together. Let me get a piece of cardboard and let me draw this thing out and cut some metal and see if we can make that bottom piece. My thought is, first step, I'll try to bend it and make it, but probably what's going to happen, I'm going to make that in two pieces. So let me get a piece of cardboard and get this drawn out. We'll make it 20 inches long, 6 inches wide. Now I know how big a piece of cardboard to get. So I cut out a piece of cardboard, and you notice it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, but that's because the panel we're working on stops right here. And so my goal was to get the basic shape. Then when we cut this out, we'll leave a lip all the way around here, and if I did it right, that is the bend line. So let's get this marked out, and the bend is 2.5 inches. So we'll mark this out, and we'll go up. I'll probably go up 3 inches just to make sure I don't run out. See if we can get this bent. We're going to use a bead roller and probably the shrinker. Let's see what we can do. The flange that goes around this is a little under 5/8 or a little over 1/2 inch. I'm going to mark it out in 5/8, and we can always trim it off. And you guys have been watching for a while. Yeah, you noticed I took the paint off this. Shrinker stretcher does not like paint. It gums up the teeth. Well, it looks like we're going to make it 2 3/4 instead of 2 1/2. My plate's not big enough, but that's all right. All right, I think we need to get this cut out. All right, so this has to be bent up, and we're going to see if we can use our skateboard wheel here and bend it up. Now, this corner, we're going to have to shrink this corner, but let's see if we can get it pointed in the right direction. That's always the first win. Well, there we go. I'm gonna have to stretch it here. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So let me run it through here a couple of more times and get it, I need to convince it a little more. Then we'll put it in the shrinker stretcher and see if we can get this thing pulled around. All right, I think it's time we do some shrinking over here and some stretching over here. We get that done, we can probably just fold this on around. All right, let me turn this thing around. All right, let's see what we can get done here. All right, well, let's see here. Well, we got a bow going that way, so let me shrink this along here a little bit. I think we're going to hit this. That's kind of hard to get in the shrinker stretcher, so let's hit this a little bit. Let me get my beater over here, the pipe end beater. I think before we start beating on it, I'm going to shrink this edge just a little bit. See if I can pull it straight. That's better. All right, let's see if we can beat on it. I got wheels on this thing. That makes it so much better. I need to see if I can stretch it if I can. All right. Now we need to pull this corner back around. It's trying to get away from me. Let me go ahead and let me do some shrinking on this side. That's much better. Still need to beat this. I need to stretch this. Well, we're getting it close. See if we can pull this around. All right, I think I need to cut this off. And then we need to put a band on here. You know, if I'd been smart, we would have put that band on before we roll this edge. Let me get it cut. Well, let's see what it looks like. It looks like that corner could be squared up a little more. I can work on that a little bit. And it looks like this slope here could be a little deeper. Yeah, right here. Looks like it could be a little deeper. Let me mess with it a little bit. And probably what's going to happen, let me mess with this. I need to drill out some spot welds, so let me drill the spot welds out. And so when I come back, hopefully spot welds come back. Hopefully the spot welds are drilled, And this is squared up a little bit, and I've made that a little deeper. I'm just gonna hit it. All right, so I think I got it all loose, except for this area right here. And I'm gonna cut across here and down and up here and try to just pull this all out so we can actually see what's going on. All right, let me get after it. Well, that was a chore. All right. Let's see how this thing fits, and then we'll get after cleaning this thing up. Well, that's good. It's a little long on this end, so that'll work. Still got to put the hoop-de-doo here. Either that or cut the hoop-de-doo out of the other one. I don't know. We'll worry about that after we get this cleaned up and we get this thing fit in there. Alright, let me get after cleaning this up, and I'll straighten this edge back up. And I think I'll take a little bit off this edge here. I won't take a lot off, because I still want to make sure it's overlapped until I am absolutely sure this thing is fitting in there. I'm going to get this cleaned up, and I'll get back to you. Well, folks, I'm pretty happy about that. It sets flush along here. I think that's going to work out all right. I got to get some screws in that, and we'll pull it together. I'll cut that other core support, whatever pieces I can use out of that one. I'll fill this up. I was looking at it, and this Radiator Sport or Core Sport, this thing's actually worse than the one on the other one. Neither one of them's great, so get them both on the table and we'll get them cleaned up and figure out between the two of them, can we make one good one? Well, I sure thought I'd get this done today. It just takes a long time to cut spot welds. Okay, well, I appreciate you watching. If you're not subscribe, you know, leave a like, make a comment. And until next time, I'm Random at Random Rod Shop, and we're out of here.